Guys, this is a quick video, hopefully, but you guys know I'm like well, I can't officially say I'm a Moor yet because I haven't claimed my nationality as of yet. I'm like one of those people who isn't gonna jump into the water until they get completely comfortable, So I haven't claimed it yet, but the more and more I learn, the more and more I definitely believe it's legit. And I definitely believe that before I turn 30, I will be a Moorish national. Okay. So I've done a few videos on the Moors. Or maybe I've done one. I mean, I don't know if I upload all my videos or not on the Moors, but I just wanted to address this whole ideal of the Moors being the biggest traitors in the world to their people, and how fucking, excuse my language, okay? I've been trying to cut back the cussing, all right? Probably a little too much because some people are afraid of cussing around me now for some fucking reason. I don't even know, okay? But I've been trying to cut back, and this video, I might let a few slip, all right? So I heard that the Moors were some of the biggest traitors, all right, in the world. Now, let's talk about this, okay? Let's really talk about this. Now, people say that the Moors are the biggest traitors because they sold slaves, they conquered African nations, they did a whole lot of other crap. But what people don't realize is that a lot of that African history that you're talking about and that people love to throw in your face about how great black people were, how awesome black people were, they were not called black people. They were called Moors, all right? I'm probably more into that because I learned that, so-called black people, the name that our oppressors gave us, all right, while everybody's so comfortable claiming they're black and they're proud and all this other bullshit. They're African Americans, they're colored, they're people. Oh my God, I don't even want to get into the whole people of color shit. That's literally colored people with, I don't even want to get into it, okay? Because some of y'all know how I feel about that, all right? Y'all know how I be feeling about the whole people of color bullshit that's just sprung up out of nowhere thanks to these white liberal colleges that have put this out there, all right? So in history, before there was a so-called black person, so-called colored person, a so-called African American, we were called the Moors and or Berbers, all right? I learned this in high school English class, all right? It's kind of weird, but then I realized, I was in an honors English class, so I have no idea, what other people were learning. I have no idea what's going on. I just know this is what I learned, which is really what pushes me into wanting to claim my nationality. But back on topic, okay? Because y'all know I'm ranting. So, so people say the Moors are the biggest traitors to their race, all right? But we can see today that black people ain't shit. Okay, we're not leading the nation in fucking geniuses. We're not leading the nation in fucking in anything really other than in crime, child abuse, just complete fuckery, And if you want to be even more legit, we got a lot of black people who are fighting for the U.S. Army. All right, I met a young man who came from Africa. All right, just to join our army, our Air Force, and I don't hear anybody calling these people traitors. I don't hear anybody calling these people, the worst people in the world when they're legitimately going over to other countries, killing other so-called black people, killing other so-called people of color. I don't hear that. But you hear people talking mad-ish about Moors. You hear people talking mad-ish about all this. And then if you want to get even grimier, let's look at Chicago, one of the worst cities in the fucking world. All right, Chicago is one of the worst cities in the world. That's how it got the name Chirac, because more people die in Chicago than Iraq. All right, well, I should probably say more people are shot than in Iraq. Chicago has a horrible crime rate, and people want to bring up St. Louis, and they want to bring up all these other predominantly black populous cities. but we don't talk about that. So we're the biggest, if you want to be legit. People who claim to be black, people who take on this oppressive ass name given to them by their oppressors, okay? Given to them by their oppressors. Black people ain't giving themselves the name black. Black people ain't giving themselves the name African American. Black people didn't give themselves any of those names. Black people gave themselves the name Moors, all right? And if you look into history, you'll see that we called ourselves Moors. All right. It wasn't the white man. It wasn't nobody. It wasn't no Asians. It wasn't anybody. It was what we called ourselves as we went through the entire world, conquering countries over and over and over. And people are so cool with claiming that, which is what blows my mind. Everybody wants to claim, how awesome black Africans. The Africans didn't even give themselves the name Africans. You feel me? Didn't even give themselves that name. But y'all want to hate on the Moors all day. People want to hate on the Moors all fucking day. Why? Because it's popular. It's the same reason people hate on Trump. It's the same reason people hate on everybody. It's because it's popular. It's popular to be hateful towards something that you refuse to look into and you refuse to understand. That's how a lot of people get pissed off that Trump might go into war with somebody else, but they didn't even know that we've been straight fucking with Russia. If you want to call yourself a U.S. citizen, people don't even know we've been straight fucking with Russia, dog. The people who have the highest chance of sending a nuclear bomb over here. All right. For, when was it? I know for a fact it started back in 2016, September 2016 is when the last reports came out that I know for factually that we were standing outside of Russia's borders with fucking Navy ships. You feel me? But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about the real. They just want to go with what people tell them to believe. And this is kind of why it's in my heart. Like I said, I haven't claimed my nationality publicly yet because there's a lot of things I still want to learn. There's a lot of things, like I said, I'm kind of a little pansy about it. I'm a little bit like, I don't know, when it comes to it, because I don't know the process to take. I just don't know. The belief concept of it, I fully and totally understand. I fully and totally understand why you would want to go back and call yourselves Moorish, because that's the last name that we are officially known and that we called ourselves. Before we got conquered by Europeans, before we got conquered in Spain by Europeans. I'm still learning about that, the whole Spanish Inquisition. You guys definitely look into that. I've been looking into it. That's really when shit kind of turned. If you look in, some people will even tell you that's the first form of racism in reality, where people were judged off of their race. And it's just weird. It's weird how many of these people who want to claim the greatness of black people or the so-called greatness of black people, but they also don't want to look at the fact that that's where we came from. We weren't these fucking hippie flower ass children. Okay, we were conquering shit. We were taking over some shit. You feel me? Because a small percentage of dirty ass Moors came in and fucked shit up. Y'all want to be like, oh, fuck the Moors. Oh, the Moors ain't shit, or da 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 da. But then you want to sit around and talk about black pride and black nationalism and da 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 da. You feel me? It's bullshit. That's what it is. Y'all can't even look at the issues black people face today in a realistic system. You want to talk about white supremacy. You want to talk about, oh, it's white people. Because why? Because white people didn't, you use their name. You identify with them. You refuse to look into your actual history. So I feel it. It's going to be white supremacy. But again, that's a whole nother video. The white supremacy video is something else in itself. All right. I might have to do that video with Harley Commissado one day, because we don't believe in that shit. All right, we don't believe in white supremacy. We don't cater to white supremacists who put out the white supremacy mentality. We don't look at white people in a sense of fucking, oh, you must be better than me because you're white, bitch. No, outgrew that. Been done. Once you actually look into the actual history, you look into the history of the Moors, you see the greatness that the Moors did. Then it's simple shit. It's easy shit. It's simple to look at a white person and be like, you're just a human. Like at the very least, you're just a human being. All right. I know your history. I know that what, 9%. I think I've said 3% before, but I'm going to go to 9. Like 9% of you participated in the slave trade, while the 90% of them were dying and starving and killing themselves. Okay, sorry, not killing them. No, well, killing themselves. Suicide was pretty huge, but while the majority of them were like it is today, fucking just miserable, fucking slaves themselves. You know, the Moors conquered white people before white people ever conquered the Moors. You feel me? And it's sad, you know, it's fucking sad that we're at this point where people feel so comfortable to just shit on actual history because that's what the popular opinion is, you know? So that's it. That's my whole rant. Peace.